Among local pediatricians over an increase in drownings this summer. Joining us to talk about what parents need to know is Dr. Chad Rodgers, the Chief Medical Director with AFMC. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. So first of all, just let us know, why does it seem to be a growing concern this summer compared to past summers?
Right. Well, I think in Arkansas, we've had a pretty high rate of drowning anyway, just because we do have a lot of beautiful lakes and rivers and streams, and people do a lot of water activities. We have a lot of in-ground pools around town for sure, but we're seeing sort of this increased rate of above-ground pools, which aren't quite as safe as in-ground pools and are less likely to have proper fencing. So we know that a lot more people are spending time at home. People are having a lot more COVID fatigue. They're having a lot more just supervision fatigue with their kids. So it's really important when kids have access to water that they're well supervised.
And can you talk a little bit about Arkansas's high drowning rate?
Yeah, just when you look at the other states, especially around us, and in Central Arkansas, you see a lot of just open bodies of waters. I mean, we're fortunate to have a lot of lakes and rivers, but sometimes those are not totally protected for kids. About 70% of drownings occur in non-swim time, so it's just when kids find access to open bodies of water that they're just more likely to have a drowning.
Yeah, so they need to be careful if you do happen to have a pool or anything like that in the backyard as well. What about swimming lessons? Are those being offered at all?
Yeah, fortunately, because of quarantine and because people are staying in, less kids are getting swim lessons. We know that swim lessons are very important to preventing drowning. And so, especially for older kids, getting swim lessons, having good access, but there's just not as many opportunities because people are kind of staying in and don't have those opportunities.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, you said for older kids it's more important, but is there a certain age, like when you should start, getting swimming lessons for children?
Right. Well, you'll see a lot of these things about, young infants getting swimming lessons. They're really too young. There's not a lot of research behind it to show that that is a protective factor. But for older children, starting around 4, 5, or 6, they have the developmental skills. You also see a big spike in drownings in 15 to 19-year-olds. So again, swimming lessons for those kids are extremely important. And every child should probably have a swimming lesson by that age and know how to protect themselves in water.
Yeah. So what advice do you have for parents?
Yeah, I think it's, just kind of the supervision fatigue. So if you're at the pool, you're at the lake, that they're wearing a protective device, if it's an inflatable device, it's probably a toy and not a real life jacket. So you want a Coast Guard approved life jacket in any time you're in open water. And there always needs to be at least one adult doing supervision. So no book, no phone, no beer. You're just one person is particularly watching the kids to make sure that they're safe.
All right, good advice there. Thanks so much for joining us this morning, Doctor.
Thank you for having me.